Hello, welcome to Loadstone Tutorials. What I want to talk about in this tutorial is the Databases tab. I have covered a little bit about this in a previous tutorial, but I want to explain a few extra bits and pieces on this one.
Databases tab.
Because some people have pointed out that it is actually confusing. And yes, it may be confusing, so the format of this tab, I do plan on changing it and cleaning it up a bit, but I'll explain what we have so that you're not totally lost.
Databases.
So,
Heading.
this tab is where you manage your lists of points, which are databases of points for Loadstone's use, and lists of checkpoints. So,
Points button.
if we go into a points option here,
Selected points. Databases.
this brings
Back
up the points will bring up a list of databases that you have. For a lot of new users, there'll only be one file in here
points.
called default.
Heading. Add. A character. Selected. Carriage and
Let's
value.
find my default
Carriage and value.
file.
Selected. Default.
Yeah, that would
Actions
be,
available.
for anyone who's not doing anything advanced with Loadstone, that's the file you're going to have, and that's created, well, by default when you first start up Loadstone. And when you're on one of these files, if you double tap, it will either select it or deselect it. And when it's selected, that means that the database is active and in use by Loadstone. And you can have as many databases in use as you want for all kinds of loaded points. And where the only time this starts to hurt performance is in your find point feature. If you have too many databases, it will start searching and taking a very long time. But other than that, the performance actually still seems to be quite good. So when you're on a file in here, you can have the following actions.
Import.
You can import. That means you can import points into this database, either from the point share or another file or another network location.
Export.
Export, that means you can dump the contents of this database to a text file, which can be used by programs that can read Loadstone compatible databases, which there aren't any that read the new format at the moment.
Send to point share.
Send to point share. This is what the option that you would use if you've saved a whole bunch of points and think I must share all of these with the world. You can send these points up to point share, and you do that when you click this button. It will start an upload in the background, and then when it's finished, it will tell you how many points have been uploaded and all that type of information. It's actually very simple, so it's one-click sending.
Rename.
Rename, you can rename the database if you don't like what it's currently called.
Send via email.
Send via email. That allows you to send this database to another Loadstone user. And that will usually work unless it happens to be particularly large, because some email systems don't like large databases. So it might reject or cause some other kind of problem, but it will work on a normal size database.
Delete.
Or you can delete the entire database.
Activate. Default.
And that's the select or deselect. So that's what you get in the points list and the checkpoints list options.
Carriage and value places.
Oops. So I'll go back into the database tab.
Point share. Button.
Okay,
Checkpoints.
so we have checkpoints
Button.
is the second option in here, and that's for lists of checkpoints.
Point share.
Point share,
Button.
which takes you to the point share website, so you can import more data or do other functions.
Exported points. Button.
Exported points. Now this is one of these options. The following options are actually going to be moved around at some point. Right now they're in a bit of a confusing place. So exported points is when you export a points database, that's where those text files land, is in this particular category. So if we go in here, let's see if I have exported anything.
Databases. Exported points. Default. Asked.
Okay, so I've
Swipe up or
obviously
down to select a custom action. Then
I've
double tap to
exported my
activate.
default database at some point to a file, and when in here you have the following options.
Send to point share.
You can send that file to point share as well.
Send via email.
Send it via email, the same idea.
Rename.
Rename.
Delete.
Delete. So yeah, if you have no need of the exported files anymore, you might want to delete these every so often if you've used this. So,
Databases.
and then
Imported points.
okay,
Button.
so imported points. This one is a little more often used. Imported points, when you, let's say,
Selected.
import
Imported
from
points.
PointShare,
Databases.
that is
Back
where
button.
the text files that come from PointShare end up. They land here in imported points. So if you've done this a lot, you'll find a lot of files.
Imported points. Burnaby. Isle. MBBS.
See, I have a few.
New Westminster.
Let's find
PS.
one.
PS 201.
See, the files
PS,
from PointShare
New
look like
Westminster,
this.
Isle. PS 201707270202344. Isles.
So that came from
Swipe up or down to
PointShare,
select a custom
obviously
action,
on
then
July
double tap to
7th
activate.
of this year at, it sounded like it was 22 something. It contains the time and date. So these files, unless you have some need of them, you can also probably delete them every now and again, or else they just take up a lot of space on your phone. And then we have
Databases.
the following up.
Exported checkpoints.
Exported checkpoints
Imported
and
checkpoints.
imported
Nothing.
checkpoints. Now that is the same concepts apply except for checkpoints files. And for the most part, you probably won't need to import or export checkpoint files like that. But they're here just in case. But yeah, those options will be moved around. So there also may be other options within this database tab at a future point. So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover on that one for the time being. Anything else?
All this information will be transcribed into HTML pages on our website. So
Yes,
for
that's
those of
Christy's
you-
job, to translate my words into some sort of a meaningful text file for people who don't want to watch YouTube videos.
Yeah. So for those of you who want to read it, and I'm really good at just breaking it down into steps, something which a high-level geek like Sean seems to think is unnecessary. But
I try.
really do think it's necessary. It's all there. So whichever format you like, we've got videos, we've got text tutorials. There is the mailing list that you can subscribe to ask other users questions and get answers that way. Twitter, Facebook, all our regular channels. And we do encourage you to use Loadstone. Get out there. It's beautiful. If you're in
Vancouver,
if you're
anyway.
in Canada right now, it's beautiful. It's summer. Get out there, explore. As you can see, you can look around with Loadstone, see what's there, try new things.
Yeah, or just
all
play with
that.
the program, to experiment with the features and see what works for you and maybe what doesn't.
Screen dimmed.
Yeah, and send us feedback. So until next time, this has been another Loadstone tutorial.
All right.